Tonight on the Carl Jackson podcast, my guest, The Whispers. This is R&B royalty. Okay? Like, yes. Let's get right into it. Welcome to the Carl Jackson podcast. I am excited and delighted that you guys are watching us on the CJC television network. We're in over 200 million devices in homes across the world. So we want to thank you guys for watching us weekly. And we also want to thank you guys for listening on Spotify and Apple iTunes. And if you miss old episodes, you can also listen to us or watch us on the YouTube channel. CJC is our YouTube page. I can't even say how excited I am about this next guest that we have. We've had some exciting guests the past few weeks, months. Season 5 is almost over with, and today is no different. We have with us the legendary The Whispers, and they have a new song that's out right now. It's called "It's Been Too Long." We're gonna play that clip right now before we start talking to these wonderful cats. So let's roll that tape right now.
I've been waiting patiently to share your company, baby.
That was a snippet of the new songs from their new album that's coming. I guess that's the new album. I'm assuming that's the new record. It's a wonderful piece. And would you welcome to the show, to the Carl Jackson podcast, The Whispers.
How you doing, Carl? What's up, man?
How you doing, guys? How y'all feeling?
We doing great. How you doing, man? Thanks for having us.
Oh man, it's a pleasure to have you guys on the show. I have to tell this story. So I wasn't lucky enough to know some of the older hits because for one, I'm 3 years old. No, it's kidding. And then two, I was raised in a Christian home. So only time I could listen to R&B was when I was at my grandmother's house. And the first time I heard of The Whispers, it was, of course, Rocksteady. And of course, Miami by Will Smith when he sampled it. So,
In other words,
yeah, exactly. But I remember when Rocksteady came out, it was like I was so enamored by the twins, you guys, because of the mustache. And I was like, these cats are cool, man. They got the mustache, the songs are banging, they vibing, they feeling themselves. I was like, yes, why I can't see this at church? That's what I was thinking. I was like, man, this now, if we had a church like this, I'd be going every Sunday. Happy to go.
Oh man.
So tell us a little bit about, for people who are 3 and under, tell us a little bit about your history. You guys have a huge history, 55 years.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, bravo for that, man. That's amazing. But tell us how it all started.
Well, Carl, first thing I want to do is find out what your grandmother's name is, because I want to know her. Shout out to your grandmother for introducing you to The Whispers.
Ruth Jackson, that's her.
And you let her know we appreciate that.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Yeah, man, but this started before you were born, you know. That was 1987, to be exact, when Rocksteady came out.
Yep.
And we have to go back about 7 years prior to that, when we had a bigger hit than even Rocksteady. That was in 1980, and that was called "And the Beat Goes On."
Oh yeah, that's the Miami sample that we hear when we hear the Will Smith Miami, Welcome to Miami. I'm sure you guys got a brick for that.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Scotty said that enabled us to get out. Yeah, Scotty always says that enabled everybody to get their clothes out the cleaners.
Exactly. So tell us a little bit about those days, the Solar days. You guys had like a huge group of like a whole bunch of things that you guys did with that record company. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we can. I mean, Solar was kind of a Dick Griffin, brainchild, basically. And he kind of patterned it after Motown as well. He wanted to have artists that would get have his own studio, have artists that would get training so that when they did perform, they would have good shows. He wanted all of that so that they would be well equipped in more than one way, not just putting out songs, but then when it comes down to doing a show, they couldn't do a good show at all. So he wanted artists that could do it all. And he put together basically a record company and a workshop where those things could happen for those artists. And the great thing about him is that to me, he allowed the artists to be who they were. He gave them opportunities to write, opportunities to choose their, some of their music. Of course, he, being Solar Records and the president, he had some, things that he wanted to make sure that we do too on there. But it gave us a great marriage between the two. And a lot of people don't know, Dick Griffin had a hell of an ear for music. And so it allowed us to really blossom there and, even hone our craft because, a lot of times you're doing songs that you like and you have a pattern of doing things that you like us to do. I mean, the way you like to do them, but then he introduces to producers that say, yeah, I liked what you did there, but can you do it this way? So it actually broadens even your music ability because, like I tell everybody, I said, Walter and Scotty could sing the phone book.
Right. Right.
And it's not like they don't have voices and they can't do it. So if you give them what you want, generally it's going to be better than even what you expect it to be. So we were allowed, and plus they were humble enough, whereas a lot of artists are not humble.
Say that again.
Take advice or listen to a kid that's down there half their age. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they were humble enough to do that, and it wind up giving us the career we have today.
Talk a little bit about Dick Griffin. I'm curious to know what was he like as a producer, as the owner of the record company. I actually was approached. Many don't know that I'm a filmmaker, so that's what I do to make money. But a lot of I've been approached at least 4 times from 4 different situations asking me would I be interested in doing a documentary on Dick Griffin. I've always turned it down because I felt like that should be told from someone that really, really understood that era. But I keep hearing his name, and from what my studies have been, he's almost like he's the forgotten almost Berry Gordy. You know what I mean?
You couldn't have put it any better, man. He is a forgotten. I think that Dick Griffin and Don Cornelius, both of these gentlemen haven't received the accolades that they really deserve. But Dick Griffin, like Lavelle said, he was a guy kind of like Berry Gordy. He was lucky enough to come along when all these artists were really they were becoming who they would become. And the atmosphere was great because Dick gave them basically the freedom, names that you're too young to understand, like Leon Silver's the guy that really produced And the Beat Goes On.
Wow.
Leon was just coming into his own as a producer. He was the bass player for the Silvers, which is a group, we talked to somebody so young.
No, but I know the names. Yeah.
I know you know the name.
Oh yeah.
But he was there, the older brother, and he was coming into his own as a producer. And it just worked out, man. It was so beautiful. Dick gave us the freedom to work and experiment. He was a guy that, he was a great A&R guy. He could hear a hit, but he also believed in experimenting with new music. So Leon Silvers with his guys, which was 8 or 10 guys that came out of his camp. That was one group of people. And then later on, we went to Ohio and we met Lakeside. These guys were babies at the time.
Right.
And Dick brought them into the Solar, Midnight Star, and later on, Climax, as Lavelle said, it was an incredible atmosphere, man, because the creativity that was going on was unmatched. Everybody could be themselves, and Dick, that's what he liked.
Right.
He wanted, he didn't have a problem with you coming in, giving him an idea. And here's this little record company which was trying to pattern itself after Motown, and ended up doing that. I mean, Solar was called the Sound of Los Angeles, but all these young acts came together. And you just named some of the hits that came from all these acts. It was an incredible time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great thing about the competition between us was a friendly competition. We all wanted to come and bring it, when it came down to showtime. So it was really nice because we would go on tour together because Dick Griffin, once again, had the Solar Galaxy of Stars tour. And he went and bought buses and everything. And people like Lakeside, Shalimar, Whispers, Climax, Midnight Star, we're out there on tour together trying to kick one another's butt, but in a friendly way. We weren't, every night it was like that. And so it was just a wonderful family. It was like when people say the Solar Galaxy family, they're not kidding about that. A lot of them are still talking about it today. They're still communicating. Some of them have some of the podcasts like you have. And we pay respects to Solar and Dick Griffin and what he's done, every anniversary of his passing and all those kind of things. But it's we had a ball. We had a ball on tour.
What's amazing to me is he was actually one of the first as well that brought a Black female executive into the industry. Is that true, or is that something I just heard?
You talking
Griffin.
About,
would that be Edna? Because there were several females that he brought in. Edna was one of them. But he had about 3 or 4 young ladies that were VPs, vice president of A&R. Yeah, he believed in bringing in, the females to do their thing. He felt like everybody was equally talented.
Right.
Wow. So talk about you guys' music. What's made it so timeless? I mean, to be able to say 55 years is nothing to joke about. That is a blessing. So what do you think has kept you guys going for so long and brought you guys longevity?
Probably gonna get 2 or 3 different answers, but my answer to that would be that we have always stuck to, there's an old saying, again, it's long before you got here, but it says, be what you are and not what you ain't. That's what we have done our whole career. We realized, where our lane was at. We understood it. We stayed in it. We didn't try to be something that we were not. We loved all the other music, but basically rhythm and blues and bebop is really where that's what our sticking points were. And lucky for us, we stuck with that to this day. We're doing the same, type of music. And I think that's why we're still here so long.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. You guys have amazing body of work, 33 top 10 hits, 40 chart singles, 20 multi-gold and platinum albums. And you guys are the only group that has been on the Soul Train as I think 27 or 26 times. Is that real?
Yeah.
And that's basically because, again, before your time, Dick and Don became partners. When they became partners, and this was long before. First it was Soul Train Records, and then it went to Solar Records. Well, Soul Train Records was Dick Griffin and Don Cornelius, which, in my opinion, that's why we appeared on the show so much, is because they were kind of like pushing their own act. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We have that record too, because we've been on there more than anybody. You wouldn't know it by the day, but I mean, we've actually been on there more than any other act in the Black history.
Nepotism at its finest, right?
Yeah. And you know what? You asked me to describe Dick Griffin, and I want to add Don Cornelius in there.
Yes.
Dick Griffin was a guy that came from Nashville, Tennessee. Don Cornelius was a policeman who was from Chicago. And these two guys were as opposite as day and night. One was the television guy, that was Don Cornelius. If you remember, his show started in Chicago. We did his show, the Soul Train show. It first aired in Chicago. But Dick Griffin happened to be the biggest Black promoter of that time. We're talking early 60s, late 70s. And Dick was promoting guys, he would take the Motown acts, the Four Tops, he was promoting these guys and doing concerts all over the country. So what it made a great combination. One guy was an expert in Black television. And as you know, we say this all the time, every Black act that's performing today should thank Don Cornelius.
Absolutely.
Because when we couldn't get on the Dick Clark show, I remember this like it was yesterday. You remember as a kid, on Saturday, every Black family in the United States.
Saturday at noon.
If you remember that, am I right? Yeah, So Don Canese was giving them airplay on television, and Dick Griffin was promoting their concerts. And I say this all the time, had these two guys had the patience to stick together, because they ended up going their separate ways. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, you know,
Yes.
if we're talking, we might well tell it like it is. Had they had the patience to stick together, that could have probably been the biggest Black company of our time. You know, but things, you know, it just wasn't meant to be. You know, these guys were different. They had their own way of thinking. So Soul Train Records became Solar Records. And they both were a success in their own right. And neither one of them, in my opinion, get their share of credit that they really deserve.
1,000% agree. 1,000% agree. So I'm curious to know what you guys think, because, okay, so you brought up something that I talk about all the time here at the office, and I can't even say it enough how much I'm disappointed that we don't have a huge conglomerate Black company that's in music or film. We have Tyler Perry, but I'm saying on the level where financially we're dependent on us, for us by us almost, you know?
Right?
What's your take on R&B now, considering how much now it's all of a sudden pop because you have all these people who don't look like us who are singing it? What's your take on it? What's your thoughts on it? I mean, I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna get probably 3 different opinions on that.
I hope they don't ban your show, because we're getting ready to talk now.
Hey, I run this show, so I want to hear the truth.
Go ahead, Lavelle.
You want to start, Walt?
No, go ahead.
But you know, I call the music of today fast food music, and the reason why I call it that, because there's no longevity in it. I mean, you're not going to see 40, 50-year careers ever again, you know, and we don't pay attention to our history at all. You know, if you walk up to just about any artist right now that's successful, Black artist, and ask them who Nat King Cole is, who is Ella Fitzgerald, who is Nancy Wilson, they couldn't tell you. And to me, you got to know where you came from to be great where you're going. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't take homage to that and you forget your heritage, that's where you get it stolen from you. By NSYNC, you know, and those kind of people, and Justin Timberlake, and anybody that's white that can sound like they're Black can come in and steal your own heritage right away from you, because you don't. When I went to, when I lived in LA, I live in Vegas now. When I lived in LA, I remember the Rolling Stones, who were 70-year-old guys at the time, would go into Dodger Stadium that holds 40, 50,000 people and fill it up for 3 nights. Why? Because white people revere their music.
Say it.
You're not going to see that. Boys II Men used to go into LA and play the Forum there for 2 or 3 nights. Now
they can barely get a Vegas show, right?
There you go.
Right.
And to me, that's something wrong with that. You know,
yeah.
If you hung on to your history, you know, you're not going to wind up being passe, but you don't do that. So, you know, that's why you will not see, you know, and I love Bruno Mars, I love Beyonce, I love all those acts, but they're not going to have 40, 50-year-old careers.
No.
So they're going to make as much money as they can, which they're making a hell of a lot of money.
Right.
Hopefully they made enough money and made enough moves so they don't have to be in this industry. But I'd rather have a legacy of, well, I've been with the group 47 years, almost 48. So I'd rather have that legacy than be around for 5 years or 6 years and nobody knows my name, or they don't care about my name at that point. So that's kind of how I feel about it. You know, our Black people got to stop thinking of their acts and their, not even acts, not even their R&B side, but I'm talking about even their actors and things like that. You got to support that industry. That's what we got. We don't have much. So if you don't support that, then what do you think is going to happen? I watch Black shows that I don't even like.
Right, just to support it, right.
support so they can get those ratings.
I do the same thing.
So,
Absolutely.
you know, if that's what we need to be, we need to think about our history and think about what we're giving up when we wind up not holding on to that at all.
I want to hear everybody's take.
Well, my beef is this. There's all types of genre of music that was mostly started by Black people. And what I want to see is that I want rap, R&B, jazz. I want all of us to know that there's enough room for all of us.
Yes.
That's my biggest problem. You know, we're getting ready on the 16th of this month. We're going to do a birthday party for Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, 20th. Yeah.
And what I like about Snoop Dogg, if you're young enough to remember, the jazz people years ago had Bill Cosby
say it
in his prime. He was their spokesman.
Exactly. You remember?
Snoop Dogg has taken on that same role.
Yes, he has. Yes.
Man, because although he's a rapper, he has, as Lavelle said, he reveres rhythm and blues. He likes the dramatics. He likes the OJs. If you meet Snoop, he's one of the greatest rappers that ever lived.
Absolutely.
His knowledge of R&B is just like mine. And he's got to be 25 years younger than me, which tells me that he accepts the idea that there's enough room for both of us. Yeah. You know, Jay-Z, oh man, we admire him from afar. I've never met Jay-Z. I can't tell you how proud I am of Jay-Z, Snoop, Dr. Dre. But man, they don't, like Lavelle just said, they don't revere, they don't look back on R&B. You know what they could do for R&B if they just wrapped their arms around them?
Exactly.
There's enough here for everybody. Don't nobody have to say, hell no, you old, man. We got to stay away from you. That's going to make me look bad. You can't think like that.
Come on.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's my take. And that's my gripe. You know, if we could just come together, man, Black people have created the greatest artistic thing that ever lived called music.
Yes.
Started by people that look like everybody in this picture.
Right, that's true.
And that's something we should be proud of, man. And we should stick together as a team to promote it. Mm-hmm. That's my take.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's right. Because when you look at like Alicia Keys, she went and got the moments, had them sing on her stuff. She reached back. Those are the kind of people we know. Bruno Mars is doing a great job. He's taking a lot of old school music, but it would be great if he took an old school act and did one of those hit songs with them. You know what I'm saying? So Walter's exactly right about that kind of thing. You know, there's a lot of room for both of us and all of us, you know, and let's do it. Like I said, we're doing the Snoop Dogg's party on the 20th. And, you know, that's not the first time he wants to rap on something. He said, man, the heck with that.
That's what it's about.
I want to rap on your song, man. What you want me to do, you just call me, you know?
That's right.
So, yeah.
That's amazing. What's your take, sir?
Well, you know what? I don't think you have enough time for me I'm the only one, if I go into what I really feel, back on television. So, but I think my brother and Lavelle put it pretty much the way it is. You know, my brother he was kind enough to use the words patience. There's other words better than that I could use, but I won't.
Right.
So, you know, the main thing is unity. We don't seem to value that. You know, we see, like Lavelle said, we let people come in the house and just take whatever they want. No, don't matter whether you made it or whatever. The one good thing about Dick Griffin, going back to him, that's what I loved about him. He was the one person that told the Whispers years ago, know your value. Know your value. That's what, you know, among a whole lot of things that you talked about, that was one of the main things. And I say that to the young people today. Now, Snoop and his generation, they know their value because they made it very clear. I sell it out of my car before I let you just
come on.
I love that about them. That didn't they? Yeah. That's what they did.
That where we failed at in our generation because we was too busy bowing down and dusting our knees off. But you know, they didn't have that problem. And like Lavelle said, you let them take it. So if you let them take it, that's exactly what they're gonna do.
That's powerful, man. We could talk all day on this. Wow. That's woo. we gotta do a documentary on the whispers. So if somebody else gonna do it, I'm gonna do it because I want to get all this wisdom. No, I'm serious because this wisdom, my generation, Snoop's generation, we need this recorded so that it's documented. That's how right. You guys, the wisdom, and because everybody's not going to be able to say that they toured for 55 years. Everybody's going to be able to say the things that they learn in terms of business, being African American. This needs to be documented. So we definitely got to talk about that. But I want to know a little bit about the tour. You guys are touring right now. Talk a little bit about your tour that's up and coming, or you're on the tour right now.
Well, we just started. This is actually the second week. We've been off like for a year and a half, dealing with the COVID.
Right.
Man, we just super excited to get back out, and we think we have the most loyal fans in the world. We're so blessed.
Yes.
We've been doing it for a long time. So we just starting to get back. We're coming with the new single called "It's Been Too Long." It couldn't be a better title than that because it has definitely been too long. But it's on the schedule. We're doing some things through the last month of November, and then come 2022, we're gonna be out there full-fledged. And man, we just are very excited about it. We're looking forward to getting with our audience. It's been great. Scotty had a little setback with pneumonia, and the doctors they're not eager to let him fly. But in a couple of weeks, he's gonna be back with us because they're gonna let him fly. So we'll be back doing what we love to do. And we want our fans, man, to know, you think you're excited? You can't half be excited as we are. We cannot wait to get back to you.
And we want to tell our fans, look at Scotty. He's on camera. He's alive. He's breathing. He don't have COVID. He ain't in no coffin. He ain't killed him off 2 or 3 times already in the last couple of weeks, and exaggerate. But it's good for people to see him on your show, to know that, what we're telling them, because we address it as soon as we hit the stage. After the first song, we address the fact of the reason why Scotty's not there. But even when addressing it, everybody thinks something's worse than what it is. Scotty's dead. Scotty got COVID. Scotty's on a ventilator. And I mean, we've got all kinds of stuff. But you can see it for yourself, fans. He's right here on this camera. He's doing really, really good.
And I can vouch for that because he was the second one to actually get on. He got on before Walter.
Yeah. So Scotty ran to get back out.
He's ready.
They came only back.
And we're ready to get him back out too.
Believe me, I'm ready, man. I'm taking it one day at a time. And like Lavelle said, I mean, my wife showed me, I'm not an internet person, but she showed me online where some people had me at the nearest funeral home, and somebody had me somewhere else. As you can see, I'm like Lavelle said, I'm here clicking.
Amen. Now, let me ask you this. A couple more questions before I let you guys go. Tell us a little bit about what it's like knowing that you have so many fans all over the world, not just in America. Talk a little bit about that. What has that been like to know that so many people have been touched by the whispers?
Man,
across the world, across the water.
I wish I could tell you, I wish I could explain where you could understand what it feels like to walk on stage live, doing your songs that you've been doing for 40 years and have people sing the songs. You really can shut up because they can sing it better than you. There is no feeling like that. I tell people all the time, I wish I could describe it, but I can't. That is a feeling that can't be even described. It's a blessing that the good Lord, when we all started now, we started in Watts, California in 1968, 69. We had no idea. This is when we were in the projects and the broom was a fake microphone.
Right.
We had no idea we would make it sound like it was thousands of people listening to. That dream came true, man. We've been we've been to Africa, we've been to Asia, we've been to Europe. We can't be more blessed, and we just don't take it for granted. We think we're the most, in fact, we say this all the time. We play the trick on because we getting paid to do something that we've done for free.
Right.
That's the feeling that it is.
Wow, that's amazing. And let me end with this. What is your hope for the future? I was going to do a top 5, but I'm not going to do that today because this is legendary. I'm not going to mess it up doing some goofy young people stuff. So what would you want to see happen moving forward in the future, not just in the world, but just in music? What would be your heart's desire? Every one of you can have a last word on this.
Wow. Well, probably for me, I would like, before I leave here, to be able to feel like our fans make us feel like we, how can I put it, that they love us. We know we have a fan base that's, second to none. But we also like to know that the industry recognizes what we've done. To be in any business or any job for 55 years and have the body of work that we have, I would like the music industry to recognize that. I think we're good. If you're not going to give us a Grammy, then give us an honorary Grammy. I want that. We deserve. I just saw the Shy Lights got their star on Hollywood Walk of Fame. I think the Whispers deserve a star.
Yes, absolutely.
And I like to see things that when my grandkids and my great grandkids go up, they could walk up there and say, on the ground, that's Dad's. That's my grandfather's group. That's and my children. Same thing. So I would like to see that. We've just about accomplished everything we want in the music industry, but we're still trying to get another mega hit. We would love to have that too, but I'd like to be recognized, the group to be recognized for what they've done, over 55 years. And I think we deserve that.
Absolutely. My thing, I'd love to collaborate with some young people today. My biggest dream is, like I said, there's enough room and there's enough money for all of us if we think and have enough respect for each other. My dream would be, man, I've never met Jay-Z. I'd love to meet him. I'd like to sit down and explain to him what our feelings are about rhythm and blues. We love rhythm and blues. We've never tried to be nothing that we're not. We sing rhythm and blues. He's a rapper. I'd love to collaborate with the jazz people. Scotty and my dad brought me and Scotty up in the world of jazz. When we came up, people like Ella Fitzgerald and Miles Davis, Lambert Hendricks and Ross, that's who we came up listening to. And then my father got mad when we started, we departed for R&B. He said, what is that? Because he thought jazz was it, but I want it all to come together, man. That would be my dream, is a collaboration with people that are younger than us. So I want them to listen to us and we want to listen to them. That's what I'd like to do.
Yeah. Bruno Mars would be one of my favorite people to work with because he's right up the alley. A lot of things that he's done. Bruno Mars.
Bruno, gotcha.
Yeah, he's kind of done a lot of things like, that we've done. He's kind of patterned some of
He's copied, basically.
Well, I don't know.
So, Scotty, I was
trying to be nice.
No, I'm not going to be nice. I think young people should pay homage to you guys, but I don't think they're supposed to plagiarize. You know what I mean? I think they're supposed to give honor to whom honor is due. Even we give honor to everybody in every industry, but when it comes to R&B, we feel like we are, it's ours, and it feels that way because you guys did such a great job making the music, but we still must honor.
Oh,
so
yeah, you're right, Carl. I agree with you, my friend.
We must honor. Scotty?
My last thought would be, it's kind of like what the Bell was saying. The only thing I would say, whatever you're gonna give us, the Whispers, I want mine now. I've seen him, after he was great when he was alive. I don't want to hear that.
Right.
I ain't gonna be able to hear it. So give it to me now.
That's right. That's
I'll
right.
be fine with it.
Yeah.
You want yours now?
Like you said, we don't want to have our kids going to get the award or whatever we get, and
right.
You don't know about it. So like you're right, I'd love to be here. And Scotty's exactly right.
But we thank you guys for doing this podcast. I want you guys to come back anytime you want to, and let's keep this dialogue going. And I'm so grateful that you guys took the time to do this podcast. I'm so happy that you guys are on the tour again, or touring again. I can't wait to hear the new record. I love what I heard today, and I can't wait to hear more. So thank you guys again for doing the Carl Jackson podcast.
Carl, thank you, my brother. We don't take this for granted, man. We appreciate it very, very much.
Oh, man, thank you.
Carl, let me leave this with you too. You said
Yes, sir.
earlier, I said, I gotta tell the brother, you've had a lot of offers to do Dick Griffin. Take full advantage of it. You're gonna be mighty surprised if you do, my brother.
Definitely.
Just because you said it, I'm doing it. Honestly.
All right.
Yeah, you're gonna find when you see the nuggets that you're gonna get when you see that and you start interviewing all of the artists, you're gonna be like, wow.
Would you guys let me interview you guys for it too, the documentary?
Absolutely. We definitely did. You got it, Carl. No question, my brother.
Definitely.
So it's done. Y'all heard it first. I'm doing the documentary. They've been approaching me for the last year. I think I need to do it because I have a heart for it, and I think our people and people my age need to understand what it means to be a Black man doing business.
You're right. Right. You're absolutely right, Carl.
I looked at you, you stole my heart. You are all that I anticipated. I wanted you, every part, but I knew love would be complicated. I began to touch, but you wouldn't let it. It never seemed to be the right time. I started to give up, down to the limit. And then you changed your mind, oh, and we begin to rock, steady, steady rocking all night long. And we begin to rock, steady, rocking till the break of dawn. Rock, steady, steady rocking all night long. Rock, steady, rocking till the break of dawn. You looked at me, to my surprise. You were too anticipating. I should have known it was in your eyes that you were getting tired of waiting. You wanted me so much, but I didn't get it. How could I find a piece of the line? I started to give up, but love wouldn't let it. Then you walked into my life, and we began to rock, steady, steady rocking all night long. And we began to rock,
Thank you for watching the Carl Jackson podcast, and thank the Whispers. I thank you, the Whispers. I'm thankful for the Whispers tonight for doing the Carl Jackson podcast. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, you be blessed.